Good morning, Year 4. How are you? And welcome to today's maths lesson. In today's lesson, you're going to be adding two or more fractions. So just like you did yesterday, but you're going to be adding two or more fractions today. I'm really going to be focusing on how you can turn improper fractions into mixed fractions. But to start with, you have some daily fluency questions. So can you have a go at answering the following three questions underneath your date and title on your piece of paper, please? Off you go. Pause the video now. Okay, what is 3/5 subtract 1/5? So that's the same as addition. The denominator, the bottom number, does not change, so the answer is 2/5. Write the next two fractions in the sequence where we can see that it's jumping up in 3/5 each time. So the next number would be 13/5 and then the next number would be 16/5. And finally, what is 4,500 metres in kilometres? The answer is 4.5 kilometres. You do have some more questions to prepare you for today's lesson. This is going to really help you if you're trying to complete these to the best of your ability. So pause the video again and answer the following three more questions, please. Off you go. Okay, so question number 1, 4 add what gives us 9? Well, we can see that there is a gap here, and because we have a missing number, we can do the inverse to work that out. So the add would change to a subtract. 9 take away 4 is 5, so 4 add 5 must be 9. For the next one, 4 add what gives us 13? Or we can do the inverse again. 13 take away 4 to find out that missing number, so the answer is 9. And finally, 4 add something, add 5, gives us the answer of 15. Well, if we work out 4 add 5, which we already know is 9, we can work out 9 add what gives us 15, and the answer is 6. Question number 2 then, we can see that 13/7 is an improper fraction. Why is it an improper fraction? That's right, because the numerator, the top number, is larger than our denominator. And we can see that 7 goes into the number 13 once. We can make one whole with our 7/7. So that means we have one whole, and then how many sevenths do we have remaining? We can see in our second bar here, we have 6 remaining. So we have one whole and 6/7. And finally then, 3/5 add 1/5. We can see our bar has been split into fifths. We can see 3/5 is here. Add another fifth gives us 4/5. And well done if you got all of those right, because that will really help you for today's lesson. Now, in yesterday's lesson, we were looking at adding two fractions together. Let's have a look at this example and remind ourselves how we can use bar models to help us. But do you remember that special rule that when we are adding fractions, which number stays the same? That's right, the denominator stays the same. We can see here that our denominator is 5. Does that mean that our denominator for our answer is going to be 10? No, it doesn't, does it? It's going to stay at 5. Fantastic. And we know that because our denominator is 5, how many sections is our bar model going to be split into? 5. Fantastic. So we are going to split it into 5, and then we know that this is worth 3/5, and I can show that on my bar model. My second bar is going to be 5 as well, and I would have 2 on that. And then you would blend them both together, you would mix them both together, and you have 5/5. Can we make a whole? Yes, we can. 5/5 is also the same as 1. Super job. Now I've got another example for you here. 3/5 add 3/5. Now, you might already know the answer without working this out, but can you have a go? See if you can use a bar model to work out this answer, please. Pause the video and have a think. Okay, so we can show our bar model by splitting it into 5 again and showing 3/5. Now, it's a bit different this time because we need another bar because we have 3 more fifths to add. And we can see that when we add the other 3/5, we will be moving 2 of those fifths into the first bar, which would be 6/5. Now, if we wanted to change this into a mixed fraction, how many wholes would we have? Have a think. What we would have is 2 of them would be moving over to the first bar, making 1 whole. And then how many fifths do we have left? 1. So the answer to 6/5 to convert it into a mixed fraction would be 1 whole and 1/5. And we can see that the number 5 goes into 6 once, making 5. And then there is 1 left over. And that is where we have 1 whole and 1/5. This time, today's focus is adding 2 or more fractions together. So I'm going to show you how we can do this. So what we can do is we can have our first bar. We can have 3/5 shown on our first bar, 3/5 shown on our second bar, and 2/5 shown on our final bar. Now if we can add them together, we can see that we have got 8/5 because 3 add 3 is 6, add 2 is 8. We have got 8/5. But we want to convert this into a mixed fraction. How are we going to do that? Well, I can see that to make 1 whole, I need 2. So that's exactly what I'm going to bring over. I'm going to bring 2 over. And I have made 1 whole and 3/5. So 8/5 is the same as 1 whole and 3/5. And I can see this because the number 5 goes into 8 once. And then to get from 5 to 8, we need to add 3. So it's 1 whole and 3/5. Fantastic. However, this is just one method that we could use. We could use that method by drawing out all of our bars first, working out how many fifths are on each bar, and then adding them together and then moving them across to make our wholes. But I'm going to show you a bit of a quicker method, okay? So, like before, we have 1 bar at a time. So we've got 3/5 in our bar, and I can see here that I need to add 3 more fifths, but I only have 2 left. So I'm going to need another bar, and I can show 3/5. So far I've got 3/5, 3/5, and then I need to add 2/5. And this is a much quicker way. I can see that I've got 8/5, and I can see that I've got 1 whole and 3/5, giving me the same answer, but I can count as I go along. Super job. Okay, can you have a go at this one on your own? So pause the video, have a go at using the bar model to work out this answer, remembering to convert it from an improper fraction to a mixed one. Pause the video and have a go. Okay, how did you get on? So we can see here that we've got 3/5, 4/5, and 4/5. We need to add them together. Now we know that 3 add 4 is 7, and 7 add 4 is 11. But we need to work that out and see what the mixed fraction is. So we're going to use our bar to help us. Are you ready? So we know that we can move 2 of our parts to make 1 whole. And we can see here that we've got at least more than 3 green shaded boxes, so we can move 3 of those up there too. How many holes can you see here? That's right, we can see 2 holes, and how many is left? 1/5. So 2 holes and 1/5. We also know that the number 5 goes into the number 11 twice, 5, 10, and then 1 is remaining. So 2 and 1/5. Well done. Can you have a go at questions 1 to 5 on the worksheet? Pause the video here and off you go. Okay, let's have a look at some missing calculations then. So I have this calculation here. 4/7 add something sevenths gives me 6/7. How am I going to work this out? Well, I know that my denominator is the same each time. It is 7. So what I can do, I can start with my bar model. And I can see that I've split my bar into 7 parts because I am counting in sevenths. And what I can do is I know that one of my parts is 4/7, and I can show that on my bar here. Now to make 6/7, I know that I am going to need to go up to this line here. Now how many squares is between this line and this line? That's right, 2/7. So 4/7 add 2/7 gives me 6/7. Can you have a go at this question here? 4/7 add how many sevenths gives us 9/7. Pause the video and have a think. Okay, how did you get on? Did you find the answer out? So we can see here that the denominator is the same again. We are counting in sevenths, so we can have our bar model showing sevenths. What we can do as well, we know that our first fraction is 4/7 and we can show that here. But this time we are going up to 9/7. But here I only have 7/7. What do I need? That's right, I need another bar. So I can add another bar on here. And I can see that 9/7 is where this line is here. And to get to 9/7, I need to add 5/7. So 4/7 add 5/7 gives me 9/7. Ooh, this time though is a bit trickier because this time I've got a mixed fraction. 4/7 add something sevenths gives me 1 and 3/7. Wow, let's see how we can work this out then, because we've got denominators again which are all the same. They are all 7. Now, we could convert this mixed fraction into an improper fraction first of all. Can you have a go at doing that now? Maybe that was a bit tricky. Let me show you. So, we have got a bar model and we have split it into sevenths again. Now, if we know our first fraction is 4/7 and we are making 1 whole and 3/7, we know that we need this whole to be complete, but we also need another bar with 3/7 on it. And we can see here that to get to 1 whole and 3/7, we need to add 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 4/7 add 6/7 is 1 whole and 3/7. But if we wanted to change that into an improper fraction, how many sevenths is altogether that's shaded here? That's right, 10/7. Well done. Ooh. A final problem solving question for you, and then you're going to be completing the rest of the worksheet. So, I would like you to have a go if you can figure out the missing number, so these 3 fractions all add together to make this mixed fraction. Can you pause the video and have a think? Off you go. That was quite tricky, wasn't it? Let's see how we would complete this then. Well, again, we know that we have the same denominators, so we can split our bar into 7 parts. Now, we know that one of our parts is 4/7, and we can show that here. We also know that a second part is 5/7. But because if we add another 5/7, our 1 bar is going to fill up, we need another bar. So we can see here we've got 4/7 and 5/7. But we need to make 2 wholes and 1 7. So we know that the rest of this hole is going to be filled up. But also we need another 7th. And we can see here that our ending would be here. Now, how many more boxes will we need to fill up to get to 2 wholes and 1 7th? Can you count them? That's right, there are 6 sevenths to get to 2 wholes and 1 7th. So 4/7 add 6/7 add 5/7 gives us 2 wholes and 1 7th. But what is the improper fraction going to be? Well, if we know that 1 whole is 7/7, 2 wholes is going to be 14/7. Add on the 1 7th to 14/7 gives us 15/7. Well done if you got that right. Okay, I would like you to have a go at the rest of the questions on the worksheet, and then I would like you to head over to part 2 to have a look at the reasoning and problem solving questions. So I will see you in part 2.